Well, of course, one of the biggest changes was when I had a double mastectomy. The next morning, I woke up and I was very flat. I guess you're a little swollen, but basically it was flat. And I was fairly well endowed before. So that was a huge contrast. And of course, none of my shirts and blouses and dresses, nothing fit anymore. So that was a little odd. I took to wearing some of my husband's more colorful shirts, and they were button up, so they were easy to get in on and off, get my arms out of. So that was all very doable. I just sort of worked with it. The most difficult change in my body was the extra 40 pounds of weight that chemo put on my body. From 3 days before chemo started, when they insisted that I begin taking steroids. And then, of course, during chemo, I had a huge bag of steroids. So for every 2 bags of actual cancer fighting chemicals, I had another bag of steroids. And it was a very short period of time. And I started to gain weight immediately. And anyone who's been having to take steroids knows what I mean. So I gained an extra 40 pounds just over the course of a couple of months. That was the most difficult thing for me. And I remember going to my oncologist office and him making me get on the scale, and I would cry. And I thought, why are you torturing me like this? And every single time the scale had gone up, and I was in tears every time. So that was the most difficult. And I was walking, and I remember talking to the nurse saying, I don't know what to do. And I remember her shaking her head saying, you cannot fight it. It's the chemicals. It's what's happening. You just have to accept it. Talk about accepting things and knowing what we can accept and move forward with. That was probably the most difficult. And it took a long time to get rid of the weight too. No matter what I did, that weight was very stubborn to get rid of. I had dear friends that would take me out, and we went to the theater and we did a lot of things. I had different wigs that I wore and different scarves. So, you try to dress it up, but at the end of the day, it's still cancer and you're still going through it. So you just do what you can. I have a strong faith in my Savior and my God. And so every day I would spend a little time in devotion and be reminded of the fact that He was taking my hand and taking me through it. And I just had to keep plugging along. Being able to recognize that it is a journey and that it is just where you are, it's not the rest of your life, that makes a big difference.
Do you know that not every breast cancer patient needs chemotherapy? Now there's a way to decide if chemotherapy will benefit you based on the unique biology of your tumor. To learn more about the Oncotype DX test and how to discuss it with your doctor, click this button.